That's his son.
You think that's his son?
Yeah. First of all, Jay-Z offered them money. At first, he offered them bread, like, and everything, but his aunt didn't, like, approve of it. She said, no, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on. The lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but Young Boy's so thorough, though, he just want a dad. He not trying to get no money. He not trying to do none of that. But something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sound kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and there was a gun in his car. Like, when he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said he went to go, like, call his man, like, yo, did you leave a gun in my car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, no, that's not my gun. He's like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen that somebody pulled up and put the guns in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, bro, I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know what. He's like, yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order against him, like trying to get a gag order and trying to. If my thing is, if this is not my son, I'll just take a test, get over with. Yeah.
Okay, y'all. It finally happened. After years of dodging, ducking, diving, and straight up running, Jay-Z has been forced by the court to take a paternity test. I mean, is it finally time to say it out loud? Did Rymir Satterthwaite actually get Jay-Z to admit he's the father? Because baby, after a whole decade of legal gymnastics and shady dodges, the court came through and said, enough, give us the DNA. And let me tell you, the results, whew. Baby, the Carter household is shook.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing.
Rymir's been claiming this for decades, that he's Jay-Z's firstborn son, and now that the DNA test is allegedly confirming it, people are losing their minds. And the backlash? Oh, it's real. Jay-Z is catching heat for dragging this poor man through absolute hell for years. But guess who's really speaking up now? Matthew Knowles. Yes, Beyonce's daddy. He is not holding back and is letting Jay-Z know just how royally he screwed this one up. And honestly, he's fed up with Jay constantly humiliating Beyonce and pulling her into drama that ain't even hers. Because let's be real, whenever Jay-Z ends up in some mess, somehow Beyonce's name always gets dragged into it. And her daddy is done watching his daughter take heat for something that's 100% Jay's fault. Now it looks like Jay-Z can't hide anymore. Rymir finally caught a break. After decades of being ignored, dismissed, and dragged through the mud, the court said, no more. They're demanding Jay-Z's DNA. For real this time. And y'all, if you've been following this saga even a little, you know this has been years in the making. Jay-Z, with all that power, has been doing everything he could to stall, delay, and avoid giving this man what he's owed, the truth.
Try to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is, like, because I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth, and if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really, what is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with.
Let's rewind real quick. Rymir first filed that paternity suit back in 2010. That was just 2 years after Jay-Z married Beyonce. Talk about messy timing. Now, at the time, the courts in Pennsylvania tossed the case out because Rymir was already 18 when he filed. So what did Rymir do? He took the case straight to New Jersey. But then, Jay-Z's legal team pulled some slick moves and said, Jay doesn't even live or work in Jersey. Why should he take a test here? And guess what? The judge sided with Jay-Z and tossed it again. But wait, it gets messier. Rymir's lawyers came back swinging. They pulled out tax records showing a Sean Carter had ties to New Jersey. But Jay-Z's team, they snapped back real quick like, there's no proof that's our Sean Carter. Can you believe that tiny little technicality was enough to get the case thrown out again? Still, Rymir didn't quit. He stayed firm. He started spilling the details, telling the world why he believed Jay-Z was his real dad. Y'all, it's deep. According to Rymir, his mom was just 16 when she started seeing Jay-Z, who was 22 at the time. That alone? Questionable. By the time Rymir was born in '93, Jay-Z and his mother weren't even speaking, and she had gotten back with her high school sweetheart, Robert Graves. So she put Robert's name on the birth certificate just to keep things simple. Years later, she finally told Rymir the truth. Jay-Z might be his real father. Rymir even did a DNA test with Robert, and it came back negative. That man was not his dad. So when it came time for Jay-Z to step up and take a test, he started playing dodgeball with the legal system. Every excuse, every delay, every loophole, he used it.
Way beyond, I feel like, right now I feel like I got a bigger fight. This is part of my life, so I won't stop fighting for, the paternity or anything else. Whatever I put my mind to, I fully go. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but if it is, honestly, you cannot do things like that. You will get what you deserve. I don't know what them guys was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. If it's true, only he can respond and get himself out of this.
This case got so big, y'all, even the NAACP and the ACLU stepped in. That's how serious it got. In 2014, Rymir filed again. And yet again, dismissed. Why? Because they still couldn't tie that tax document's Sean Carter to Jay-Z himself. But now the New Jersey Supreme Court has had enough. They're demanding the test. Jay-Z can't run no more. This is a massive win for Rymir. Because for years, folks have been clowning him online, saying he's just chasing fame or cash. But the man has said it again and again. I don't care about the money. I just want to know who my father is. And honestly, going after someone as powerful as Jay-Z, that's not clout chasing. That's brave. This whole thing has been a nightmare for him. Harassment, intimidation, even getting a gun planted in his car? Like what? Rymir said he was just trying to figure out where the gun came from when the police showed up and almost arrested him. Thankfully, there was surveillance footage showing someone else putting it there. So yeah, this ain't about a check. This is about the truth. And this young man is fighting for it.
And get fair due process. They just been, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, so I can't get in there and actually know fully what's going on. I'm only there to, say what I believe in, and, you guys can put me on the lie detector test, anything else you want me to do. I always been here to stand on the truth. I told them if it was wrong, I'm a man, I can apologize, but for me to go in there and ask for fair due process and not get it, and they just throw you all around like you're a rag doll, I just find that to be crazy, and I really think we need to change that. Like, it's craziness. I'm not asking for nothing. I always been on here. I wasn't never asking for nothing. People can say what they want. As I said, I work, I'm doing great. I gotta take care of my kids. Like, I'm driving a nice car, I'm getting nice income. So it's not like I never been here asking for nothing or trying to get 15 minutes of fame. So people just gotta realize that these court systems and these people that's out here and controlling these people that's in the court systems, we need to change it, because if we can't go and get fair due process, what are we all paying taxes and all this for?
Now that things are finally swinging in Rymir's favor, you'd think folks would be supportive, right? Wrong. Word on the street is Matthew Knowles is livid, and not because of the DNA results, but because Jay-Z's past keeps blowing up in Beyonce's face, again and again. From the cheating scandals, the drama with Diddy, and now this possible secret child, Beyonce always ends up caught in the crossfire. And Matthew is sick of it. He's scared, not just for Bey's reputation, but for the entire Carter legacy. If this DNA test proves that Jay-Z fathered a child with a minor back in the day, that fallout would be explosive. It's not just about protecting the family name anymore. It's about keeping the whole empire from crumbling. Jay-Z's been working overtime to keep this door closed. And now that it's cracked open, everybody's watching. Jay-Z finally spoke up for the first time in this whole saga. He called the lawsuit a decades-long harassment campaign and claimed the courts already rejected Rymir's claims. He said Rymir is just keeping it going for attention. And his legal team, they denied the intimidation tactics. They said they even tried reaching out to Rymir's guardian to arrange a meeting, but got shut down. But y'all, come on. If Jay-Z is so sure he's not the father, why not just take the test and be done with it? Why drag it out this long? And the internet? Oh baby, they are not letting this slide. People are out here saying they feel for Rymir, that it's heartbreaking watching someone beg for a simple DNA test. One person even said, it's wild that people have the power to allegedly manipulate the legal process. Enough is enough. Take the test. And honestly, they're right. At this point, Jay-Z is looking shady as hell. And if that test comes back and confirms Rymir is really his son, then wow. Jay's been ignoring his own flesh and blood for over 20 years. That's not just a bad look, that's unforgivable. People are starting to say Jay-Z can't even claim Rymir now if he wanted to. Like, what kind of man spends all these years dodging his own kid, only to show up when it's too late? And the whispers? Oh, they're getting louder. They're saying the reason Jay's been dodging that DNA test isn't just because of the paternity drama, it's because of the timeline. Because if he really did have something going on with a 16-year-old when he was 22, that's not just messy, that's criminal. So of course Matthew Knowles is furious. He doesn't want his daughter's name dragged through this kind of mess. Beyonce has worked too hard, built too much, and carried herself with too much grace to be linked to something like this. Matthew is done watching Jay-Z mess up and drag Bey's name through the dirt. And honestly, can you blame him? The Knowles family built their brand on excellence, on reputation, on keeping things tight and clean. This kind of scandal could destroy everything. Now Jay-Z is in panic mode. His legal team is out here doing damage control, calling Rymir's story a harassment campaign. But let's get real. If Jay-Z had just taken the test a decade ago, we wouldn't even be here. So what's the real reason he didn't? People online are fed up. They're calling Jay out left and right, saying, "I really do fear for Rymir. Having to beg Jay-Z to take a paternity test for years is heartbreaking." Others are saying that Jay-Z's actions don't line up with the image he tries to project. All that talk about family, legacy, black excellence, and yet he's got a potential child out here feeling abandoned, ignored, and unprotected? How can you stand up and call yourself a leader, a businessman, a cultural icon, when you won't even face your past? Jay-Z's silence? Deafening. His delays? Telling. And if this DNA test proves Rymir was right all along, baby, Jay-Z's reputation might not recover. And let's not forget, this isn't just about public image. If Rymir really is his son and Jay-Z knew or suspected something about that girl's age back then, whew, that opens up a whole other can of worms. This could get legal, fast. So now we wait. We wait to see if Jay-Z actually cooperates with the court's order. We wait to see if the test comes out. We wait to see if Rymir finally gets the closure he's been begging for all these years. But y'all, ask yourself this. Do you really think Jay-Z would be fighting this hard if there was nothing to hide? Because if there's one thing this entire situation has shown us, it's that the truth always comes out, no matter how long it takes. And if Rymir is telling the truth, then Jay-Z has a lot of explaining to do. To Rymir, to Beyonce, to his fans, to everyone. This ain't just gossip, this is someone's life. And as for Rymir, he's not going anywhere. He's not staying silent. He's fought too hard, lost too much, and been ignored for too long. The man just wants the truth. Now it's time for Jay-Z to face it. Closing remarks. So what do y'all think? Could Jay-Z really be Rymir's father? Have you looked at those side-by-side pics of them? The resemblance is scary. Sound off in the comments because this drama, it's far from over. And trust me, we'll be right here covering every twist and turn as it unfolds. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up because the tea is just starting to boil. I'll catch you next time, Betties. Catch you next.